Hey, good morning. This is Larry. It's Saturday, January 17th. I'm heading to Nevada. And first, I'm going to see if I can get into this one place I wanted to coin shoot before, but I couldn't. And if I can, I'll do that. If I can't, I'm going to just kind of wander around and see if I can find some other sites I was interested in seeing. And then after that, I'm going to a class conducted by Jeff Williams. You probably know who he is. He's the guy that says, well, come on now, let's go. And, you know, he's got his skeleton slim with him. Then I'm heading to Arizona. I'm staying the night, I think, in Boulder somewhere. Then early in the morning, I'm heading out to Sasquatch 1 again. I found some pretty good gold there last time, but I had the feeling I just hit a pocket, but I didn't really categorize my samples that well. So this time I want to be a little more careful and figure out exactly if I find gold where I got it from and so forth. So hopefully that wasn't just one of those hit and miss things. So we'll find out. So I got a couple of days lined up here. There's Nevada off in the distance. There's a solar farm over there, they call them. Yeah, this is old Good Springs here in Nevada. They're very protective of their ghost town. You can't metal detect anywhere in town here. Got a lot of historic sites. You can just kind of look at them through the fences. This old place, for instance. Let's see, the Pioneer Saloon, general store, where I want to go metal detect. The people that own the Pioneer Saloon own the property. It's right up there. I'll show you. Let's see, there's a sign here somewhere. Did I pass it already? Where did it go? Here it is. Yellow Pine Mill and Railroad site. Anyway, where I want to go is up there because this is from the mid-1800s, this mill site, and there was a lot of activity up here. Tried going up there before with my brothers, but this guy over here, he thinks he's the patrolman for the whole valley or something. He said, oh, this is private property. You can't be there. It wasn't his property. I know who owns it. But so we left. But there's no fences. There's even the sign over there directing you that, you know, this is a historic place up here. And so anyway, I'm going to see if I can do a little bit. Maybe he'll try to kick me out again. If he says something, I'll leave. But he's more or less just a busybody. I knew this was going to be a good place. I have to be kind of quiet. I don't want that troublemaker bothering me. I found a silver dollar. 1879. Had to use the pinpointer on it. But I found it. It's around this thing. Alright, I found an Indian head. Second find. I don't know how much more I can wander around here without the guy coming out and yelling, so we'll see. At least I found two things so far. Yeah, I'm at a disadvantage here. All I can use is my pinpointer, because if I would have brought headphones, I could have used the other, but I don't want to be making a bunch of racket and this guy comes running out. Like I say, he thinks he owns the whole town, I think. So all I can do is just, you know, kind of take it along places, and obviously I can't cover too much territory with this little thing. So I'll look around a little more and then get out of here. I'll go to my second location where I can use my metal detector. Right here they used to have a little miniature railroad to haul the ore. Yeah, the guy came out, he's in his backyard, so I'm just going to go down here close to the road and maybe do a little metal detecting. I don't think he should yell about that, but he might. We'll see. I didn't find anything down by the road. The old guy was working on his truck. He could see me. That's probably why he didn't bother me. He knew all I'd find is a bunch of trash. Oh well. Well, I can't complain. I found that Indian head and a silver dollar. You know, if I could just get a metal detector up there, I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff. Because it's like people have been there for, let's see, they were back there, I think, in the 1850s, I believe, for many years. So, but can't have everything. Here's the Good Springs Cemetery. Let's go take a look. It's about circa 1890. Let's see how old some of the graves are here. Yeah, those are fresh ones there. They all died recently. Huh. This guy liked his Jack Daniels, I guess. Okay. Yeah, that was a newer one too. 1980s they died. Let's see, is there anything old here? 67. 83, 67. What's this one? 66. (1858 to 1949). That guy lived a long time. 55. Must have been a baby that died 1955 to 55. 1870 to 1932. Let's see. 1841 to 1934. 1849 to 1926. 1858 to 1939. Here's 1865 to 1929. Let's see, what's this? Got some of their teddy bears here. There's a baby, it says on the top. Let's see what it says. Died March 24th, 1899. I think I found the oldest one here. 1830, mother and son. Martha Price, 1830 to 1918. Norman Price, 1875 to 1936. I've always wondered, I know it's going to sound crazy, but, you know, how much more longer in the future are they going to decide that all of a sudden that this is an archaeological dig? They're going to dig up these graves like they do over in Egypt. You know, I mean, what's the time limit? Are there some guys in a little room hidden somewhere right now deciding, okay, I say it's 500 years after they've died. I say 2,000. I say 900. I say 1230. You know, Who makes the rules as far as when you can dig somebody's grave up? Here's 1869 to 1890. Well, when I die, I think I'm going to be cremated, so they can't do any digging anyway. $1895. Okay, I guess that's about it. This is the Argentine mine up there. My brothers and myself were here before we hit it pretty hard. Found a lot of coins. I've got a little time to kill before I go to this class with Jeff Williams, so I figure I'll go up there and try again. We always miss something, so see if I can find it. Whatever it is. If I can make it up here, a lot of rocks. There's the old grave for somebody's dog. Getting a good hit here. Or I was. There we go. Let's see what we got. Hard ground, I got that. And let me turn this off. Okay, let me use the pointer on this. I don't think it's anything. I think it's trash. Go back to this again. Nope. Well, so far I've just dug up a bunch of bullets, lid to a can. So hopefully the next scene you'll see me finding some coins. Got through a lot of shotgun shells, but I finally found a penny. Let's see what we got here. Weedy. I think it's probably 1958 maybe. Alright, so I didn't get skunked here, but there's just so many bullets and shotgun shells everywhere, even more than when we were here last time. I saw the empty box for the cartridges that somebody threw here. They've been up here shooting a lot. Decided this time I'm going to go ahead and leave this place. See, there's a lot of different levels, which we went up to all those last time. I'm sure more coins could be found, but I think we did a pretty good job, and it's just going to take too long. So I had some other places I kind of wanted to explore if I can find them. Anyway, I found the one weedy here, so I'm taking off.
Except yours are full, aren't they? Yeah. Woo! Oh, it's Slim's going. Well, I already know it's Slim's going. Oh, that's a nice pick right there. I like that. Make a little pendant out of that. Yeah. Personally, my opinion, and I didn't do any special training or practice, but I haven't tried the witching stick yet. So, 3.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. That's right.
Oh my God, she had the gun?
3.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. That's right.
Oh my God, she had the gun?
You don't want to know for all practical purposes. So, all right, so we're going to get the show on the road. I hope. I know.
Well, I should have brought Toto.
Toto? Okay. So, first of all, I know it's going to sound boring, but I got to tell you what black sand is. So, exactly what is it? Well, it's actually a conglomerate of things, but the foundation of black sand is going to be made up of magnetite and hematite. Now, for those of you that don't know what that is, most of the time your magnetite, which is magnetic in nature, as you can tell if I stick this in there, I can pull it right out on the end of my magnet. It's magnetic, it's black, it's mostly iron oxide. Hematite, which is more of a brown, It's not that magnetic, but if you use rare earth magnets on it, you will be able to pick it up, guaranteed. So, and there's a reason why I'm telling you that. There's other materials in there. There's pyrites, there's chromite, scheelite. There's a whole conglomerate of things in it. But for the most part, magnetite and hematite is going to be your black sand. Okay. Now, why is this stuff always with the gold? And I had a lot of people ask me that.
It's heavy.
It's heavy, but the foundation of why this is with your gold is because most of your iron-bearing minerals are found in igneous and metamorphic rock. That's where most of your gold is going to be found too. Remember, you got 3 types of rocks. You got sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic. Most of your gold is going to be found in these 2 types right here. So is a lot of your iron. Iron deposits are going to be forming in these 2 guys right here. I'm not going to go into all the different things of Geology 101. That'll be another class. It's really easy to see why the black sands are always in our placer, because obviously when the lodes weather away, so does the black sand, and it gets washed right out with the gold into the placer fields or deposit. So this is black sand. It's our friend and it's our enemy, because we look for it to find the gold, but once we get it, we want to get rid of it because it's bothering us, because we want just the pure gold so we can make our buttons, bars, or what have you. So, any questions on what black sand is? No? Good. I like that. Good, good, good. I like a nice, easy crowd. Okay, now, what are you going to do with your black sand? Well, the concentrates, for you who know what all these things are, I'm not going to go into it too much, but this is what's going to cause your black sand. It's just, these are just concentrating machines. That's all these are. And if you have questions on what these things are, I can go into it later. But today's class, this is basically the concentration machines that will create your black sands, or your concentrates, and of course your gold, which will be in there too. The most common process to remove gold from black sand is that you pan down the cons. I'm going to give a little demonstration right here and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Most of us have done this, whoever had a gold pan, and you just simply pan, and you'll get your gold and your black sands, and then you separate. And then of course you throw most of your black sand away, and you just want that chunky gold, because that's what we're after. But believe it or not, some gold is still inside that black sand, and you're going to want to get that gold out of there. So that's what today's little show is about, because I've done it myself, trust me. I get anxious, I pan down, I get the pickers out of there, boop, and I throw the rest away, because I just want the good stuff. Well, believe it or not, the good stuff is the stuff I'm throwing away. So you need to know what you're looking at, and you need to know how to get it out of there. So I'm going to show you how to use a snuffer bottle to get the gold out, to wash the black sands away. If you're good with a snuffer bottle, that should work. Then I'm going to show you how you're going to dry it. We're not going to dry it in here because I don't want the smoke alarms to go off. So I've got some wet sand and I've got some dry sand. And then you're going to dry it, and then you're going to use a piece of paper and a magnet, and you're going to classify that way. That's the way most of us do it. Then I'm going to go into the more in-depth ways to do it, because trust me, that's the rudimentary way, and then there's the way to get all that nice, tiny, fine gold out. So I'm going to pan this out real quick, show you some gold, and then I'm going to show you how it's all done, and then I'll put it in a little vial, and then that's probably what most of you are familiar with. So any questions at this point? No? Really? Wow. Now, you're all familiar with gold pans, right? You know how to gold pan. Please tell me yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you know me. I'm a big old Garrett Super Sleuth fan. I love this thing. It's got huge riffles here. You can even dry pan with this. So, I love this gold pan. Makes panning a breeze. Now, when you're working with small gold that you think is small gold, jet dry. Remember that, because it breaks the surface tension of the water. That's important. Gold will float. Believe it or not, gold does float if it's small enough. You put a few drops. Don't get all hog crazy with it, because it'll foam up. Now, some people say, Jeff, can I just use dish soap in there? Yeah, well, you're going to have foam from here to next week. I guarantee it. So try jet dry. It doesn't build up a lot of foam. All right, so I'm going to pan this out real quick. I don't know if there's any gold in it. I think there's gold in it. I hope there's gold in it. And I know I'm going fast.
What?
But I don't want to bore you to tears. Of course, I'm going to shake it down real quick. Okay, so I've got some gold in there. You know how to do the blueberry bump, as they call it, down there in the Bible Belt, where they taught me how to do that. So what I'm doing is I'm just letting that water do its job. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. There's a little stream of gold in there. See that? Nothing to write home about. Little tiny pieces. So if you want to pass that around, Nevada Jack, before I get started into the next phase. That's real simple 101 gold panning. I mean, that's how you sample, classify, pan, see if you're onto something. Before I get too far, this guy right here, you need to bring this with you if you're going to be sampling. I know I covered this last time, but some of you guys weren't there. Jeweler's loop, 10 times or stronger. You've got to be able to see what's in your pan. Remember, that is not a production machine. That is a sampling machine or a cleanup machine. You do not go out looking to make a fortune using a gold pan unless you happen to hit pocket gold, or if you're good at sniping. That's another story. You need this guy. You need to see what's in that pan, because sometimes that gold's going to be real tiny, and you're a detective. Remember, you guys are gold detectives, and you're looking to find out where that gold came from so you can get bigger gold. That's what it's all about, chasing that gold. So, what I'm going to do is, that's the small stuff. I've already got this dried out. What you would do is you would take that, and you use your snuffer bottle. I'm sure you're all familiar with this guy. Yes? Please? Yes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is if you're good with a snuffer bottle, get him back up to the top. Now believe it or not, if you're good with a snuffer bottle, you can wash most of that black sand away with this guy. You just gently wash away, and it'll actually blow that black sand away. Don't get all crazy with it. Then tilt it forward, and then suck in the gold. And you can get most of your gold clean that way. But remember, there's finer gold that you can't even see at this point because it's trapped underneath all that bigger material. So we'll go over that in a minute. Okay, so you got your gold in your snuffer bottle, and you're all happy. So you're thinking, okay, how do I get the gold from here into here? Well, you can use a funnel, but what I like to do is clean it up. So I'll put all this in this guy right here. This is one of the old original, well, kind of original gold pans from the old days, metal pan. Put it on a source of heat. Do it outside in case there's mercury on here. You don't want to be sniffing that. You're going to pour this into the pan, all of it, just like such. Then you're going to turn the flame on, drain some of that water out. You're going to heat all that moisture and get it out. You're going to be left with this. This is the dry stuff. I'm not going to go ahead and do it now because I don't want the alarms to come on. So, I've got a whole bunch of fines right here that are dry. Now, what I would normally do is take these guys,
I just stole that a minute ago.
and you run them through what's called a stack. And that's my own terminology. This is what I call a stack.
Okay.
These are classifiers. I got a 20 in there. I got a, I think a 30, yeah, 30, a 20, all kinds of fun stuff. And you put them together accordingly. If I could get that in there. There you go. So, 20, 30, 40, 60, see that? And you can go all the way down to 100. Now, the way that that works, and I know I'm going fast, but I got a lot to cover, is you put that on top of your gold pan, you put your stack on top. Now, I know that these classifiers are much, much bigger, and of course you'd use that with the big gold pan, like that. But for today's demonstration, I'm using the little stack, because I don't want to lug it around. So you're going to take this, which is your dry cons, which we got out of here, remember? You're going to dump them in just like that. And you're going to do one of these numbers here. Okay. Now I got my trusty dusty magnet right there. And what I can do is I can run the magnet over the top, or I can pour it in directly. Now what I'm doing is I'm tapping that gold, and I'm making it walk. And he's going to walk, 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 all the way up, just like that. And then if I want, I can finalize the cleanup process using a nice, powerful magnet like such. Then, if I want, I can blow or use a small camel hair brush or something like that to get the rest of this out. And then when you're done with that, you take your little funnel and you put it on top of your glass jar like such. And then you pour those in. I'm going to get rid of these real quick. And this is, like I said, this is going to be your 20s. These are really, really coarse. And this is what most of us do. We just go looking for this stuff. And I know I got a ton of black sand stuck in there from all that nasty stuff. Now, some of it's not going to be magnetic. Some of it is. Yes, you can blow the heavier material right out. Any questions so far?
Is that the rare earth magnet you're using right there?
Yep, that would be him. Oh, somebody sounds like they're not happy. Now, for most of us, this is what we do. We'll put it in a little jar like such. Now, this is not as clean as it can be, but for practical purposes, I'm going to move really fast on this. And you put the gold in there after you've cleaned it up on a piece of paper with a magnet, and you're good to go. Now, that's what most of us do. We'll dry out the cons, and then we'll use the snuffer bottle that way. But I'm going to take it to the next level. So, I don't need this. This is my 20. What do I have here? Now I'm going to take it down to the next level, which are these three here. Now you can take it down to 100 if you want, which is the superfine stuff which we'll be working with on the blue bowl later. And that guy, he can take 100 too, but we're going to stick with our 50s and our 70s on him. So this is what we've done so far. We've taken the cons, we've gone ahead and heated them up, we dried them out, used a piece of paper, we filtered the top, the 20s, and we got the big chunky gold out to put it in our vial. So this is what everybody and their uncle does. It's the next step that people don't do normally. The next step is to classify. Now, classification is very important. I can't emphasize that enough. There's a reason why classification is important. That's on the next page. But you're going to classify all the way down as far as you can. Now, this is a 60. I could take it down to 100 if I want, but I think 60 is as far enough as I want to go today. So you got, you're always going to run them separately. If you classify your material out, and you have all these containers, and remember, these are the small ones. I'm doing this for demonstration. Regular screen is going to look like. What you're going to do is you're going to run this guy separately. You don't run him and him together. So if I run it through him, or I run it through him, I'm going to run him all by himself. And there's a reason for that, and that's on the next page. Now, I'm going to go into something that most people don't talk about, and that's prepping your black sand. And this is something that you might or might not have heard of. There's a way to prep this stuff. And what do I mean by prep? You're going to clean that black sand, and you're going to fracture it, and you're going to get all that micron gold out. Now, the way that you can clean it is you can add vinegar to it and tumble it overnight, and what we'll do is it'll break that iron down. And that's why I got a tumbler up there. You put your vinegar in there, and you put your black sands in there, and you tumble them overnight. When you open that tumbler up, it's going to be all brown and nasty. And you pour that out, put some clean water in there, and that's going to help free up a lot of your gold. That's one way of doing it. Another way is to add CLR to it, or white vinegar and salt. Combination 50-50. You're going to put that in there in a glass jar for about a week. It's going to break that iron down. It's going to help release some of that gold that's attached to the iron. That's two ways of prepping your black sands. If you really want to get meticulous with this stuff, you can do that. But you don't have to. I've seen guys that don't go to this extra step here. One last step is roasting and grinding. I don't know if you guys are familiar with roasting and grinding. Grinding, everybody knows about. If you break this black sand down to 100 mesh, you'll get more gold out of it, guaranteed. The problem is you're going to have a machine that can grind black sand down to something that fine. The other one is roasting. I don't recommend roasting because when you roast stuff, you release stuff. Think about it. You're going to burn stuff, especially if you got sulfides locked up in some of that, which you could. You're going to get sulfur dioxide as a byproduct. But if you do roast it, you're going to be adding 50-50 table salt with it. You're going to fracture that. Basically, you're breaking that sulfur down, or I should say the sulfide. The sulfur is released, and then you'll take that material that you just heated and you'll dump it into cold water. Not the pan, but the black sand. It'll fracture everything and allow that trapped gold to come out. You don't have to do this, but if you really want to get involved in it, then these are 3 different techniques that I've seen done. I don't like messing with it because it's, to me, I can do almost the same with just using classifier screens. Any questions? I see a hand. Oh, Pat.
CLR, do you put salt in the CLR?
No.
Just
No.
vinegar.
No, yeah. No,
Okay,
don't
I'm
put
going,
salt in
wait a
CLR.
minute.
You'll have a bad chemical reaction.
Okay,
No. Just the white vinegar and the salt.
Yeah.
You put those together.
Gotta remember not to put your hand
Don't put your hand where, Daddy-o? Anyway, so these are ways to clean up your black sand if you really are meticulous about breaking it down. It does work, but me, I can do the same with screening. Now, is there any questions before I go on to the next step, which is important? Yes, sir.
I don't know what CLR is.
Oh,
like to clean your drains.
there you go, Pat.
What'd she
Thanks
say?
for the backup. It's a drain cleaner
You
at
can break
Lowe's
a
or
lot
Home
of
Depot.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. It's actually, it's 3 letters that stand for... Thank you. I love your participation. Okay, so it will break down that iron in there, and people do this all the time. I don't like doing it because, to me, I can't get that much more gold by doing it.
But the 50-50, so you're saying 50% white vinegar or red wine?
Oh, no.
Which vinegar? White vinegar
White vinegar and salt.
and salt, and you're saying what, now does it matter if it's, say, iodized or?
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
No,
matter.
Use
just,
sea salt, it's better.
yeah, it's more of a pure thing, but
I just,
white vinegar and salt should be enough to get it acidic enough to help break it down.
okay,
Sound groovy?
I got it.
All right.
I got it all right here.
Uh-oh, incriminating. Okay.
What happens when you put salt in CLR?
Do what?
What happens when you put salt in CLR?
It'll explode.
Well, it'll foam a lot, and you never know how far that reaction is gonna go, depending on how much salt you decide to put in there.